If you like club or dance music, then you probably know Ben Böhmer. This popular DJ and composer from Germany has found a new way to play his music from a completely different perspective. How? Just look at this. A week ago, Böhmer performed an absolutely unique set from a hot air balloon basket, flying over the stunning Cappadocia landscape in Turkey. He installed his DJ audio equipment inside the basket and played online and also for other balloonists flying nearby. The DJ set was broadcast live and recorded using several cameras, including cameras mounted in a few balloons flying next to him. So even if you don't like dance music, you have to admit those views. They grab anyone's heart. This is how we start today's Air Sports News. I'm Regan Tetlow, let's go. DJing from a hot air balloon? Well, maybe we can top that with another stunning flight of Turkish paraglider Hansen Kaval. We showed you this amazing pilot a few months ago as he departed on his paraglider, sitting on a couch with a TV set and a non-alcoholic beer in his hand. This time, Hansen invited his friend Akmen Kaya to perform a tandem flight with, well, let's see. These two guys took off with a table mounted to a harness, and after reaching a safe altitude, they started to play a game of backgammon in the air. Pilots also smoked hookah in the sky. As Hansen said after landing, they have taken the Cathay atmosphere to new heights. In his opinion, this is the best way to ensure social distancing, and there is no need to wear a mask in the air. Congratulations guys, and we're waiting for more amazing ideas. Air Sports Promotion would like to invite all aviation enthusiasts to take part in the Aviation Expo 2020, which will take place next Saturday and Sunday in Kielce, Poland. The event is designed to develop the Polish air transport and aviation market. In addition to the traditional elements of the exhibition, such as airplanes, helicopters and gyroplanes, guests will see modern technologies used in aviation and learn about access to aviation schools. There will also be special panels and conferences, including Technology and Law for Aviation and Global Drone Conference. I'm pleased to inform you that the Air Sports Promotion team will participate in this event, so if you want to cooperate or exchange information and knowledge, let's meet there. Unfortunately, due to the coronavirus pandemic situation in Asia, the largest Chinese air show in Shanghai, scheduled for November, has been cancelled. The event is to take place in 2022. The organisers announced last Wednesday. The biennial trade show and exhibition attracts key manufacturers such as Airbus, Boeing and Commercial Aircraft Corps of China. The event is traditionally used by the PRC authorities to show off the increasing capabilities of military aviation, including new fighters and drones. So many cancellations of aviation events forced GA pilots to organise special mission flights to stay current and to say a big thank you to medical workers. In the United States, pilots can now participate in a 50-state aviation relay, thanking medical professionals on the front line of the coronavirus pandemic. Multiple flight legs will begin on September 24th from San Diego and include handoffs to fellow aviators of a commemorative flag and torch to be displayed on October the 30th in Washington, DC, after the conclusion of the flights. My first special guest is a display and aerobatic pilot, engineer, athlete and author. He has just finished the Reach for the Skies tour, an incredible 6,000 miles journey with 44 stops in his pit special, taken in the whole of the USA. It's a talented and motivated Anthony Oceanuga. I'm very excited to have you on the call. We're going straight into it. Reach for the Skies, 6,000 miles. Has it finished?
Yeah, we finished it on Thursday.
Tell me about it. Tell me what it was and how the idea started.
Yeah, so the campaign was Reach for the Sky, We've Got the Ground. And the campaign was created by Epic Fuels and myself. We also partnered with Signature Flight Support. And essentially, it entailed a 6,000 nautical mile flight around the nation of the United States of America, stopping into 44 stops with 22 locations. And of those 22 locations, we dropped off COVID relief packages for the frontline support crew at these FBOs at the airport. These packages included face masks, hand sanitizers, and we give them a nice branded mug. Just a way to say, hey guys, we appreciate your support here. We encourage your support. Please continue to do so, because without you, we wouldn't be able to fly in the air without your support. So I think that the message was well received from everyone throughout the nation.
And you were flying in your pits?
Yeah, I was flying in my pits, and that was very, very, very tiresome. You know, I don't know, for the people that are watching, the Pitts S1S is the one I was flying, built in 1975. These aircrafts were made for airbag flying only, right? Competition aerobatics. I race it as well at Reno, but there's no autopilot. So I'm pretty much hand flying this airplane the whole entire flight. And I think when we're all said and done, I think it was 60 hours in the airplane, something around that.
Your display, is it from your own design, or do you get input from other people?
Yeah, so the first few years doing air shows, it was my own design. And I, you know, because like, it's, when I look at the air show folks doing their air show, you know, routine, they have really complex maneuvers and all that good stuff. And I get it, you know, they want to show off, and that's what you do as air show pilots. You go out there, you want to show off your ability, you want to show everybody you're great. But me, I have a different tactic. I believe in my abilities. I can show off, but I'm flying for the kids. I mean, if I go up there and do a lame-javac compared to a loop with a snap roll on top, they won't know the difference. Yeah. The kids won't know, you know, they'll still be inspired by the big looping figures with smoke coming out on the back of the airplane and stuff like that. So I definitely fly for the kids, but I can 100% turn it up if I need to. The
full-length interview with Anthony is now available on our YouTube channel, so don't miss it out after the show. French pilot Melanie Galilei has been awarded the International Gliding Commission's Champion Pilot of the Year 2019. She also received the World Soaring Cup 2019 earlier this year. Melanie participated in her first Women's World Championships in 2015. She finished 5th, as she did also in 2017 in the 18-metre class. In 2019, Melanie won in the 18-metre class World Championships with a competition that she describes as perfect, with her teammate Anne Dacourage, and for the third consecutive time, the French brought the Team Cup home. Melanie decided to dedicate the victory to her father, who died of cancer in September 2018. Skydiving drop zones around the world are operating at various levels of activity whilst keeping a close watch on the COVID-19 infection rates. This week I spoke with one man who has allowed thousands of first-time jumpers and qualified skydivers to make their dreams come true every year. Let's hear the latest from pilot, skydiver, podcast host and ex-stripper Dean Vicki. So you're working for a skydiving organisation out in the Middle East. You're flying the Twin Otter.
Yes, I am. I've been flying the Twin Otter for quite some time now. Started flying in about 2010.
How did you start flying, Dean? Where did your pilot's ambition come from?
You know, I initially got my my pilot's license when I was 16. I was kind of a pain in the ass of a kid, and my parents decided my at least temporary passion for flying was something that they would try and stoke to keep me out of trouble. So I ended up getting flying lessons back when they were kind of affordable. And got through all the lessons when I was 16, but then of course, like an idiot 16-year-old, I did nothing with it until I started flying in 2003 when I was jumping in Cross Keys.
So after you got your initial license, you let that go, and then you became a skydiver, you started jumping.
Yeah. So with that's one nice thing about the FAA licenses is they're lifelong. They never expire. So you still have the license, you just got to get current. And I ended up becoming a skydiver when I was living in Vegas, as a matter of fact, and even then didn't have the desire to fly again until many years later.
You've got quite a colourful past, my friend. Let's find out what you were doing in Vegas before you started skydiving.
That's one way to put it, I guess. Yeah, man, I was a stripper in Vegas for a long time. I think I did about 8 years in a club in Las Vegas, but all in total, I did that for 11 years.
Tell us about the transition of becoming a skydiving drop pilot.
Well, you know, I was very lucky that with that particular type of flying, I found it almost right away. Again, because I didn't have any great desire to work as a pilot. I just wanted to go fly planes, and this was back in 2003. When I started flying again, it became very clear that just like skydiving, it's extremely expensive. So if you're going to keep doing it, you better find a way to get it to pay for you a little bit. So as soon as I hit that commercial hours, I got my commercial license so that I could fly jumpers part-time to pay for flying. But as in this sport, one thing always leads to another. And it turned out to be the most fun flying I've ever done. I attempted to, after I'd been a jump pilot for many years, go join the ranks of the Real Pilot Society, and I got a job flying for an airline out in the Caribbean. And I did about 2.5 years with them, but I hated it. It's just a completely different kind of flying. And my hats are off to the guys that can do that. You know, I've got a lot of friends that have transitioned into airlines that can do this long haul stuff, but I just don't have the setup for that. I'm much more a go up, go down real fast kind of guy.
If you want to know more from Dean, you can watch the full-length interview on our YouTube channel. It's not every day a pilot gets a police escort for a takeoff, but a Cessna 172 owned by the East Tennessee Pilots Club had motorcycles and cars with lights blazing for a short hop to Ireland Home Airport near Knoxville last week. The pilot reportedly made a precautionary landing on the highway due to being low on fuel. He got it down and off the shoulder without incident. The authorities blocked 2,000 feet of freeway, and the freshly fueled aircraft lined up in the fast lane and accelerated under an overpass before taking off. Arion has announced that the AS2 supersonic business jet concept is beginning high-speed wind tunnel tests this month. The company noted that it has completed computer modelling of the AS2 design using aerodynamic optimization tools that provided data to develop the aerodynamic shape to a high level of fidelity and detail. Arion is looking to begin production of the 11-passenger supersonic business jet in 2023. Tokyo-based company SkyDrive showed off a test flight of its SD03 flying car model last week in the Japanese city of Toyota. The single-seat car, powered by a battery and 4 pairs of propellers, was lifted to 6 feet above the ground and hovered in a netted test area for above 5 minutes. Most importantly, the car had a pilot on board. The next step is to raise its speed up to 60 km per hour and extend flight duration to 30 minutes. That would mean a capacity to fly non-stop for 20 miles. Maybe one day SD03 will be our hero of the week, but today let's find out something interesting from the time of the aviation pioneers. On the 14th of September 1939, Igor Sikorsky made the first tethered flight of the Vorticoski VS300 prototype helicopter. The duration of the flight was just 10 seconds, but demonstrated that the helicopter could be controlled. VS300 was also the first successful single main rotor, single tail rotor helicopter ever created. The 3-bladed main rotor turned approximately 255 RPM in the initial configuration. The VS300 was powered by an air-cooled Lycoming 4-cylinder engine. It was rated at 75 horsepower using 73 octane gasoline. On the 19th of December 1939, the VS300 was rolled over by a gust of wind and damaged. It was rebuilt and finally made its first free, untethered flight on the 13th of May 1940. After more than 100 flight hours, the VS300 was donated to the Henry Ford Museum, Dearborn, Michigan. On the 12th of September 1934, Philip Sayre made the first flight of the Gloucester G-37 Gladiator, a prototype fighter for the Royal Air Force designed to reach a speed of 250 miles per hour. The Gladiator was a single-place, single-engine, single-bay biplane with fixed landing gear. On the 13th of September 1935, Howard Hughes Jr. set an FAI world record for speed over a 3-kilometer course near Santa Ana, California. on his H-1 home-built aircraft, making 7 passes over the measured course, each in opposite directions. His average speed was 567 km per hour, and it was more than 60 km per hour faster than the previous record set a year earlier. On the 15th of September 1909, Jean Batten was born. She was a New Zealand aviator and became the best-known New Zealander of the 1930s by making a number of record-breaking solo flights across the world. She made the first ever solo flight from England to New Zealand in 1936. Happy birthday to Miroslav Hermaszewski, born on the 15th of September 1941. He is a former Polish cosmonaut, fighter plane pilot and officer. He became the first, and to this day remains the only Pole in space, when he flew aboard the Soviet Soyuz 30 spacecraft in 1978. He was the 89th human to reach outer space. On the 15th of September 1991, the Boeing C-17 Globemaster made its first flight. It is one of the most recognizable 4-engine jet transport aircraft on the planet. More than 20 countries use this aircraft in their military cargo missions. It has a range of almost 9,000 kilometers and can carry up to 78 tons of freight. That's all, folks. Don't forget to write to us on newsairsportspromotion.com or directly to me via Twitter. You can also register yourself on our airsportsfan.com platform. My name is Regan Tetlow. This is Airsports News. We'll see you next week. Stay safe and remember, keep your eyes on the skies.